synchronized. All right. Yeah, so thanks for coming over to interview. I guess to begin, just introduce yourselves, like name, age, where you're from, and like what you're affiliated with, basically.
There's a lot of stuff.
I'm Salt. I'm 29. I'm from Philly. And I run Yarga Presents.
I'm Nish. I am 32 and I'm from Delco, Philly area. I moved here in like 2013.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess, like, how did you guys get introduced to the house show scene generally? Like, how did you first get into it?
I feel like we both started going to shows when we were like in our like late teens, young 20s. I think you were going when you were like in high school.
Yeah, like starting in high school, I would come up to shows for like the Electric Factory, and then I started meeting people at shows and going to like house things and meeting friends that were going to like UArts, rest in peace, and just kind of branching out from there. Started going to shows and there were like bands there. It's like, what's going on here?
Cool.
Since you've been involved with the scene, since it sounds like you've been involved with it for a while, how have things evolved and changed? Like, have you noticed any like large trends or like changes that have happened over the years?
I think the biggest thing is like just the ways that people get the word around about shows and stuff. Like the venues have changed. When I first started doing stuff, it was like Facebook events a lot of the time, and there was like a general, there wasn't very much information. Like people were still kind of treating it like a joke or a party. Like, the bands were kind of like mentioned, but it was more like we're having a party and there's going to be music. And I guess things have kind of switched over to Instagram for the most part. At least that's how we were doing stuff. Other than that, I feel like a lot of things are very similar to how it's been. Like I've seen all the same types of acts and stuff. There's definitely like a Philadelphia house show sound.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's more like collectives that put on shows as opposed to like years and years ago. I feel like it was more casual.
Yeah.
So Yarga specifically, how did you guys first hear about it, first go to a show there, first get involved?
I think like circa 2018, I like moved into Pi Lam fraternity at UPenn.
Yeah.
And it was like a alt like kind of fraternity. It's like half the members were girls, and it was like the alt queer fraternity, and it was like a crazy like party house. And for that reason, they were like having trouble like getting the actual frat members to take up residence there, because it's kind of wild. So they were asking for like boarders, just like random people off the street. So that's how I got to move in there, and then I became friends with like some of the people who lived there, and then the fraternity like dissolved like 6 months after I moved in, because they I believe they like lost the property due to like tax reasons. But the fraternity dissolved, and me and some of the gals who lived there moved to 40th and Chestnut and started doing shows over there at House of Yarga.
Cool. Did you guys do shows at the Pi Lam house?
Oh yeah, they like doing shows for like decades and decades.
Those are some of the first shows that I went to when I moved into the city.
Cool.
Pi Lam?
Cool. Pi Lam shows. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like growing up, I like knew people who were like, I went to Pi Lam to buy acid from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know like history-wise, like how long have you heard that the Pi Lam stuff goes back?
Well, I mean, I guess the fraternity goes back to like the 50s or 60s, and then it kind of got more, it's always been like the most accepting, quote unquote, fraternity. They were the first to like integrate racially and like on religious lines, and then like from there they just kept getting like more and more people in. I think the music came in around like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Kind of really went into like a old school situation, and then yeah, it just kind of get weirder from there until Salt enters the picture.
Yeah.
So Anisha, how did you move into Yarga?
I moved in, like, what was it, 2022? Was it 2022 or then? Like,
I think so, yeah. I think it was like the tail end of the pandemic, perhaps.
yeah, I was just moving from like a single house, like I've always wanted to live in like a punk house or like do house stuff, and it came up on my Facebook, I think, and I just reached out and they like had me come in for an interview, and yeah, the rest I just kind of knew immediately that's where I wanted to be.
Cool. Yeah. So it sounds like then, Salt, you've been booking and running things basically since the beginning of House of Yarga, and it's House of Yarga location, yeah.
Locate.
Oh, yeah, maybe like a year, like, maybe around like 2019, I really started booking shows. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And for you, like 2022, like, when you moved in,
Yeah, that's when I
started getting
first moved
involved.
in and started getting involved. I like, started working door and bar and stuff. And
Yeah.
So then, as far as, that venue's no longer there today, but what was your favorite part of it?
I guess like for both too, like
Yeah.
both locations.
For
Like,
both
if you had a favorite
at
spot.
the original Pylam location, and then also in House of Yarga.
The original Pylam, I really liked all the murals and like wall art that was all over the place. In particular, they have like there's some text on the wall of the living room that said "Never stop hanging out," and yeah, now somebody like wrote that. Well, last I saw somebody wrote that in the House of Yarga, so that was cool. I don't know. I guess that Yarga, I like how it's like in the fucking middle of everything. Location. I mean, the subway's right there, trolley's right there, bus routes. I really dig that because I live with my parents in Northeast Philly, so it's like a fucking hike to get downtown, but just being able to get right off the subways is real chill.
Yeah.
How about you, Nish?
My favorite part of
Favorite part of the venue.
I guess, was just like the people that would like come in and out, and it was nice. Like, I guess I've lived in a lot of situations that are like, and I just don't have a lot of like people coming over and stuff. And it's nice to get used to like the chaos and like comfortable with just random people. Like, you can wake up and people are already like all grouped together, like working on music or something. You can just kind of walk out of bed and like pick up a guitar and start like playing without like saying anything to anyone.
Yeah.
It's a really nice experience. Or like hearing people work on songs that then I get to hear them like play out later at like other places, and like being there from like when someone's like humming a song in the shower to like playing it out loud in front of people was really cool.
That's awesome.
A question, partly from my own curiosity. The name Yarga. I was curious sort of where it came from, and so I did a little bit of poking around, and I found that it goes back at least to the 90s. Do you happen to know, like, were you ever told like where the name came from?
Oh shit, I think you know more than I do. I just associate it with this like plastic gargoyle that was at the fraternity. That was like the mascot of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's as much as I know. Yeah.
So there was
That's what I heard from someone that was like there in the 90s, was that they like came up with their mascot just to be like the heavy metal house. They wanted like a cool mascot, so they chose that. And then there's been a couple different like versions of it, but they would always like buy like every new iteration of the house would get their own gargoyle. And then take the last one with them. And I guess like the one that we inherited was never like taken, so we just kind of had the same one for a while.
Yeah, it's a little deity.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so then do you want to talk a little bit about like how the like Chestnut Avenue house ended, Chestnut Street house ended, like what happened?
Well, there was always like kind of a somewhere between lax and like non-respondent communication with the landlord, and we were never really sure what was going on there, to be honest. Like different people would take charge of like trying to communicate with this small property company and like to varying degrees of success, and I think they just finally had enough of all that, like, and they sold all of their properties. So basically the university bought the house, and then they were like, well, we came here and like it doesn't really like look very great. You probably shouldn't live here, because the last landlord hadn't really been by to fix anything for a while. So kind of like we're left in this position where the amount of money it would take to continue living there was just astronomical. So we had to kind of bow out there and find somewhere else, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So then, you want to talk a bit about Yarga Presents and the sort of booking that's continuing on after the venue itself is no longer operating?
Oh yeah, I mean about that, I get hit up by like different out of town bands to set 'em up for shows, so I'll just like book them at different bars and stuff in the area, and just use the contacts that I made from the house to fill those bills out, and other people help me out with that. Niche helps a great deal.
I try, see what I can.
Awesome.
Cool, yeah. And I imagine contact for that is just through Instagram, through DM on Instagram?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. I guess y'all have been doing shows for a long time. Are there any that were particularly good or bad or memorable at either house, or
Any wild
anytime you've
stories or
been
anything?
in house shows?
I mean, a lot of them are memorable. Most of them were good, say. And whatever bad ones I don't really remember, I guess. It's the only ones that aren't very good. But obviously the last show was like a really cool moment, and then the next last show was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened after the next last show?
We had like the last show and then the actual last show. Right?
Oh yeah, those are awesome. I like regret like not like utilizing the living room for shows more. I think that's what made the last two really cool. Just using
really
different
cool,
parts of the house. But I think we like abstained from doing that because of the noise complaints that we'd get every so often. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. So outside of like running venues and booking things, what kinds of interests or hobbies or like other art do you guys do?
I make ambient music, and I try to like record, like engineering, I guess. I try to work on albums with other people.
Awesome.
Use some of my like equipment, people like singer-songwriters and stuff. Working on some stuff with my friend Austin, who lived at the house. It's pretty cool, as of yet untitled. I've just been settling into that, I feel like, and going through all of the recordings I have of the live shows that I got. Some of them recorded pretty well, so I'm trying to like mix those. I've just been into like mixing and mastering and sort of like getting things to like a finished product level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're hoping to put out some bootleg cassettes of some of the sets that happen at the house.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess that answers like the last question. We'll see what ends up on the best of compilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to do visual art. It's my bag. I like doing collages. Yeah, that's what I get into.
I saw the invite.
Yeah, thank you.
This show. Looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. Even worth asking.
Yeah, I think just at
Is
this
there-
point, is there anything else that you definitely want to share about the venue, or that you sort of want to include that we should be asking you about?
I don't know. Live music is a pretty special experience. It's a real almost spiritual communion, and it's been worth all the effort putting shows together. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just say to do it yourself. There's nothing about it like that is any different than anything you can do on your own. and just find a place for everybody to hang out and try to make a cool place for people to come and hang out.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Okay,
Yeah, it's great to talk to you guys.
You too.